Thanks a lot, Senator Elorm, Jewel. Appreciate all your hard work and getting this all set up and everything together for us. Really appreciate everybody taking the time to be here. And I think that before we get started real quick, want to let everybody know that guess we're just about started. We're good. And I just want to say good evening, hello. And I want to, thank our, partners and our sister chapter from Central Jersey. President's on the line, Miss Shelley Bryant. How are you, Madam President? How are you? Can you hear us? Okay, Regine's here. How are you? Wayne, how's everybody? Hopefully everybody, is doing okay today. Just want to welcome everybody. We're a little after 7, so we want to try to, stay on time today, as I told Senator Troy Singleton, as well as Elorm from Fair Share Housing, that we're going to try to get out of here by 8 o'clock. So we want to get started. So once again, thanks a lot for being here. And Tammy, if you can, do a quick prayer for us, please.
Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you right now, thanking you for allowing us to wake up to see another day. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy, Lord. As we move forward, Lord, as servants, Lord, within this state of New Jersey, doing our part. I know this month is Fair Housing Month. And as we all try to plant the seeds within our communities to build stronger communities, I pray that each and every household is blessed, continually blessed here today, that are advocating for those that may not have as much as others, Lord, and that we all come together and make this a stronger New Jersey. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, thanks a lot for everybody being here. And, I really appreciate everybody's time. And like I said, we're going to try to get out of here as close to 8 o'clock as possible. But this is, my name is Avery Ruff, and I'm the local board president here of South Jersey NAREB. And I just want to welcome everybody. And hey, how you doing? We're all amongst friends. I see everybody here, most everybody I know. So it's great to see everybody. So thanks for being here. But just to update everybody on who NAREB is, we're the oldest minority trade organization for disciplines and all the real estate, facets. And it was started in 1947 in Tampa, Florida by, 11 men and 1 woman. And the reason for, NAREB is because we weren't, back then we weren't allowed to be members of NAR. So we created the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, and it was primarily a minority organization. And we are, what we do is we advocate and we promote, Black home ownership, and we champion for democracy in housing. And the mission of NAREB is to enhance the economic improvement of its members and the community at large. And, that's what we hear, and that's what we continue to do. And, long as I'm around, NAREB's going to be around. And, for the month of, during this time, this is what we have Realtist Week. This is the 3rd day of Realtist Week. And this is Political Advocacy Day. And we have a treat to have, Senator Troy Singleton here, as well as we have Elorm here from Fair Share Housing. That's going to give us an update on what's going on. So, Senator, as I said earlier, I don't want to, take away from anything, but, Tammy, if you could just, give us a quick update of who we have here.
We have Senator Troy Singleton has devoted his life to public service in government, political, and policy posts at all levels. His rapid rise to the highest levels of management in New Jersey legislature, and as an elected officer is a testament to his widely praised talent for assessing, developing, and implementing clear, pragmatic responses to major public policy challenges. I'm going to keep that brief, like Troy says. As we know, Troy is a major advocate within our community. I know I'm a Burlington County resident, And I appreciate, as I watch, I'm an onlooker as when I'm a resident and take off my Realtist hat. And I thank him for all of his service as he serves his community with pride, honor, and dignity. So Troy, it is in your court. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Avery. And thank you to my friends from NAREB for once again having me be a part of a forum that you are hosting. I kind of joke a lot with Tammy, because usually when she calls me for these things, I'm always hemming and hawing about some schedule stuff I got. And then the text just comes out in her, and I end up showing up nonetheless. So I'm appreciative to be with y'all this evening for whatever amount of time that we have together. So thank you. As Avery said, we are in Fair Housing Month, and it's unique in that concept of Fair Housing Month, because I think what we are all charged to do, especially those of us who work in real estate now, to turn fair housing into real opportunity, to make it real, make it substantive for people. And I think that is important. And one of the things that I've worked on and have been proud to champion in Trenton is putting a laser focus and being intentional and trying to promote minority businesses, African-American businesses, Hispanic businesses, Asian businesses. As we all know, entrepreneurship and business ownership, particularly in community-based businesses like real estate, to be specific, are critical ways to develop community wealth for both business owners and the people they employ. And we all know the tortured history, because Avery talked about it as it relates to ARAB. Historically, many Black businesses were created to counter racial discrimination brought about by segregation. And Black entrepreneurs and minority entrepreneurs have always found ways to flourish and move forward. So what we've tried to do in the creation of our legislative package here in New Jersey, that I'm proud is moving its way through the legislature, has already been through the Senate. Almost every one of the bills stands for one, is create something which is called the Minority Business Enhancement Act, the MBE Act for short. And it's a confluence of several different proposals, and they're all meant to strengthen, grow, and diversify our state's economic and entrepreneurial base. I don't have to tell the entrepreneurs on this call, those in real estate, and now for the last 8 months having working in real estate on the insurance side, you all understand the challenges it is to try and move forward and move your business forward. And frankly, the COVID pandemic, especially for minority businesses, have exacerbated the stress that minority businesses find as we're trying to close the racial wealth gap and try and have our rightful place in the economic ecosystem that is New Jersey and our country. So the MBE Act supports minority-owned businesses by identifying disparities and barriers to growth, extending financial assistance, and improving relationships between them and other established small businesses, as well as state government. So why is that important? So New Jersey state government is one of the biggest purveyor of services in New Jersey. And we need to be intentional, as I said earlier, and I'm going to keep saying it, because we need to be intentional in order to course correct the direction things are going right now. And that intention needs us to say, you know what, we need to put our money where our mouth is. One of the things I like to say all the time is, in the context of the conversation around Black Lives Matter, and we've heard so much about it, when it was been put in the context of police reform, I think we cannot just leave it there. It is critically important that we focus on that and make sure that happens, but we can't leave it there. It has to be a part and permeate every aspect of public policy. It has to touch our education policy. It has to touch our housing policy, our environmental policy, and most assuredly, our economic policy. We have to make sure that entrepreneurs have an opportunity to succeed like all others. And all those barriers that we've talked about, barriers that prevent access to capital, barriers that prevent access to opportunity, are pushed away so that everyone gets at the starting line and has an opportunity to move forward aggressively to make things happen. So the MBE Act has a bunch of different bills a part of it. One it calls for a disparity study. Why do we need a disparity study? Well, frankly, we need a disparity study from a legal standpoint to tell us what we already know, that minority entrepreneurs and minority businesses are not getting the full advantage of state sponsored programs and state procurement. We need to do better than that. And that's what that disparity study will allow us to do. Allow us to do like some other states, like in New York, where you have specific set-asides for minority and women-owned businesses. So that's what that proposal is inclined to do. I'm proud to tell you it's already passed the New Jersey State Senate, and it's making its way through the New Jersey General Assembly. We also had our Minority Business Development Enhancement Program, which specifically has a $50 million allocation for grants. Let me underscore that, grants, not loans, grants, to New Jersey minority and women business enterprises, certified minority-owned businesses, as well as community development financial institutions. You know, grant recipients have to issue reports, but that $50 million is to provide real capital to allow minority small businesses to succeed and flourish. And we know without that capital, we know without that critical investment at some of the most critical times of incubation for these businesses, that they won't flourish. And that's why it's important. We also need to lower administrative barriers. As I said earlier, we need to require our New Jersey Economic Development Authority, in partnership with New Jersey's Chief Diversity Officer, to proactively lower administrative barriers, not just to minority depository institutions, so our minority community-based banks that we see leaving the industry and leaving our state to be access to it, but to make sure that through all loan programs, barriers that are put in that may have been unintentional, but have the intentional impact of stopping minority businesses from flourishing, we move those and take those away. So as I keep saying, the word that I want to keep echoing tonight is intentional. Because in order for us to make positive change, in order for us to make this change happen, we have to be intentional, not just with our words, but with our deeds. And that's the kind of legislation that we've been proud to sort of put forward. Our creation of our Urban Wealth Fund, which essentially operates, it's a publicly owned private equity fund, essentially. And it is based on existing investments that the state already makes, county already makes, local government makes. The equity fund primarily provides startup capital to minority-owned business, a bunch of other initiatives, but its primary focus is to provide that startup capital. I go back to that point because we know the lending disparities when it comes to minority and non-minority businesses are stark. And if we want to change that, my friends, we have to be intentional. We have to want to try and change it. We have to make sure our policy does that. We're also looking to do something that I think is important, and it's a matchmaker program. So essentially, we would create this biannual business matchmaker initiative where the New Jersey Economic Development Authority would allow small business owners to meet with government agency and significant state contractors who look for subcontractors. So before I got in real estate, working in the industry on the insurance side, I used to work in construction. And one of the things that I know about any good contractor is they sit there like, because they have so much invested on the line, they want to go back to their tried and true subcontractors. But that creates a lot of disadvantages for minority and women businesses because they don't have those relationships. So they never get a chance to be a part of this discussion. So the Matchmaker Initiative is to try and move us away from that. It's to have the state government, one of the largest purveyor of services in the state, along with significant state vendors, to be engaged in this process of trying to match them up with small minority and women contractors. We believe this will enhance opportunity, and with opportunity will become economic empowerment. My friends in the real estate industry know this well. As individual entrepreneurs, you all know this well. Knowing you are scared of hard work, but when the scarcity of opportunity presents itself, it puts you in a difficult position to be able to move forward. That is why the MBE Act is critically important. That is why we have to continue to be intentional. We're trying to change the paradigm in which we see. Because if we come out of this COVID pandemic doing the exact same things that we did before and expect somehow the outcome to be different, my friends, you all know it will not. That is why we have to work together to make sure we can move this public policy forward, move policy forward that allows us to be in a position to see our minority, women, businesses grow, because it's part of our fabric. It helps our country. It helps our economic imperative. We know the vast racial gap that exists and the untapped potential of minority businesses, of Black businesses, is one of the ways we can close that gap. But we have to find ways to make sure that we're allowing everyone to sit at the table of economic benefit here in the state of New Jersey and enjoy it. My friends, it's always my pleasure to be with you. It's always a pleasure to spend a little time with NAREB because you understand more than most the imperative about making sure that we change this paradigm. As shepherds to the American dream as you are, it is important that we work together to make sure that we move this kind of legislation package forward. So thank you for allowing me to spend just a little bit of time with you. It is always my dear honor to be with each and every one of you. And if there's any questions, I'll be happy to entertain them at this time. Thank you.
Well, Senator, thank you so much. As I said earlier, you know, you've always been a friend to us. And I really, I can't thank you enough for just you know, setting some time aside for us whenever, you know, we need you to come on and update. And we definitely, you know, look forward to always seeing you. And thanks for your service. Thanks for all you're doing to keep us, you know, where we need to be and moving forward. Because without people like you, it just makes it even that much more difficult. Mm-hmm. So I just want to say thank you. And if anyone else has any, you know, questions or comments that they would want to share, or have something for the senator before he has to leave, it's please go ahead. You know, I'm sure that.
And if you would like to put your questions in the question box, you can do that as well.
And you know, as you know, we said earlier, you know, Senator Troy, he's always available. So, you know, I really appreciate that. You know, anyone else have anything else? Any last words? I'm sorry.
Yes. This is Tokumbo. Senator, thanks a lot for all the initiatives you are doing. And it's very encouraging to see that the government and our representatives are developing programs specifically targeted to minority business people. So I was hoping, is there any way you can send us a PDF of everything you spoke about so that we can actually know how to tap into these resources?
Thank you. First of all, thank you for your question. Absolutely. My office is on this Zoom with us this evening. And what we'll do is we'll send back that information to Tammy to be distributed for NAREB for the members, so you all can see the bill package and where it's at. And hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of it when it becomes law. And we'd also ask you to help us as we try and move it forward. But definitely we can get that over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Any last questions? Okay, well, Senator, thank you so much for being here. You know, once again, I can't thank you enough for you know, having us, you know, taking the time out to be with us. And you're welcome to stay, but if you have to move on, we definitely we definitely understand.
Avery, I appreciate it, and thank you for your leadership. I'm partial, not to disrespect my Central Jersey NAREB folks, I'm partial to our South Jersey leadership team and the work that they do. But again, I really just want to underscore that one point. You all are gatekeepers to the American dream. And I say that, you know, not with extra hyperbole. This is the biggest and best asset that so many of us will ever have, me included. And the fact that you as professionals help guide folks to the right home for them and their families for that precious investment is critically important for our communities to move forward. So thank y'all all for what y'all do. God bless everyone. Have a great evening. Take care.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Jewel.
You are very welcome. And I just input all of my information into the chat box. So it is our, for anybody that would like it, it's our phone number, the office phone number, and the district email address. So you can feel free to use that and share it with whomever you'd like.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Tammy, you know where to find me, so you can always pass along my email.
Yes, madam, we do. I do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jewel.
Thank you, Avery. You're welcome.
All right. Okay, before we you know, or as we move forward here, I just want to you know, take a moment and thank you know, my Central Jersey friends, and I just want to you know, Shelley, to the president of Central Jersey, to say a few words. You know, Madam President, can you say hello real quick? Hit the button. There we go. Hi. Hey, Shelly, how are you?
I'm fine. Hello, everyone. As Avery mentioned, I'm Shelly Bryant, Local Board President for Central Jersey. I'm glad to be here. Senator Singleton did an awesome job. That information is definitely needed in our community. And I'm just going to spend a few seconds, if I can, just to talk about NetPAC 1947. Not going to do a full presentation, but I just want to spend a few moments just to let you guys know who we are. So NetPAC 1947 is a national PAC. We support congressional members, and in an effort to continue to advocate for Black homeowners across America, we formed NetPAC 1947, and we're on a mission to support candidates that are committed to closing the racial wealth gap in the country. Through the lens of homeownership. So through vigorous research and vetting the candidates, we have some endorsements that we did in 2020. And some of those people that we supported has been Jackie Gordon. We supported Representative Al Green. We supported Congressman Donald Payne, which is here locally in our New Jersey area. We also supported Dr. Cameron Webb. And we supported Representative Joyce Beatty. And we had, out of the folks that we supported, most were already in place, but we had some winners here. So we were very pleased to be able to do so. And I'm sorry, how could I forget the man of the hour, Mr. Raphael Warnock. We also supported him as well. And what we do is we fundraise, of course, and we're doing this, year round. Election time, we did, a whole lot of fundraisers for specific candidates. Coming up next week, April the 19th, we're going to be supporting Chantel Brown. We're going to be, doing a fundraiser for her. So it'd be nice if you all can join us on this fundraiser. If you want more information about the fundraiser, you can visit www.netpac1947//OH11. And we have multiple contribution levels, starting at $1,000 as a sponsor, as a contributor, $500, as a Realtist, $250, and as a friend, $100. So that's what we're asking for. This is a invite only. This is an invite-only fundraising event. So if you guys want to, partake, please feel free to visit that website. And then also, if you'd like more information about some of our goals and our initiatives, some of the bills and things like that we support, or we're trying to push forward, I should say, you should visit www.netpac1947.com, and you will find out more about those things. In fact, one of the latest things that we were pushing and is in rotation and play was the American Dream Act. And we really definitely need to do a better job at making sure we have the right resources for individuals who can't afford to come out of their pocket with down payment. So the American Dream Act is really about down payment assistance. And I think one other thing, one last thing. I can't get off without saying this. We have an ongoing campaign for 1947. So for those that can't, make large sums, every little bit counts. And so we have this ongoing campaign for people to be able to contribute $19.47 a month. And that is, you can find that information at netpac.com/donate. And I thank you, Avery, for allowing me the opportunity to speak.
Hey, no problem, Shelly. And here again, people like you said want to support. Sometimes that $19.47 doesn't hurt.
Absolutely.
You see it come and go, and that's not a problem. And that way we can, and as many as folks that can do that definitely adds to the bottom line. So that's always a way of supporting, and doesn't hurt too bad. So Shelly's not going anywhere, so we're going to talk a little bit later. So okay. Back to you, Tammy.
Shelley, I'll put in our policy. I have our policy book, the federal agenda that we have. I'll
Okay.
upload that in the chat. I'm hoping so before we finish. And I will also upload the Sheba report and have all that loaded as well.
Okay, great. And you know what, Tam, I think I might have a one page or two with regards to some of the bills that we're trying to push through. So I'm going to see if I can pull that up on the screen while the next person is speaking, and try and see if I can figure out putting it in the chat.
Okay. And one of the notes of just saying what Shelley is on our political action committee on the national level, and anybody that is politically inclined and that is their cup of tea, please join us.
Yes.
Please join us. And if you're in Central Jersey or South Jersey, we welcome those that are looking to continue to help their community, because right now that American Dreams Act, the down payment savings plan, is Senator Gregory Meeks's bill, and that's what we're pushing through. So if you have a senator within your community or a public officials that you need to address, please go to them and reach out to really almost anyone on this team. Anybody that has one of these beautiful backgrounds in the back, they can get you in contact with someone on our within our chapters and get you to national, so that we can make sure our senators are pushing these bills that are out there. So I'll try to make sure I get that in there, Shell, and I've opened up, so if you need to share as well.
Okay, great, thank you. And I did just want to say, Gregory Meeks, we did support, but he wasn't in 2020. We supported him in 2019.
2019, yep.
Okay.
Okay. And it works, you see?
Yeah. Because we're thankful for Marsha Fudge in the HUD office, somebody now that really knows what she's doing.
Yes, and that's who we're so the fundraiser for the 19th, Chantel Brown, she's going to be taking Marsha Fudge. She's running for Marsha Fudge's seat. So yes.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Fantastic. That's great. Thank you.
So next we have Elorm Ocansey from Fair Share Housing, where we appreciate for him to come on and let us know what's going on in that neck of the woods. Elorm, you have the video floor.
All right, thanks, Tammy. Hey, good evening, everybody. So yeah, like Tammy said, my name is Elorm Ocansey. I work with Fair Share Housing Center, and I don't have a big presentation. I was listening to Senator Troy, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I could follow that, because he's talking about a lot of great things, getting people money. I don't have that, so I'll just share a quick update about what we're working on at Fair Share. For the folks who don't know, Fair Share Housing Center, we're a civil rights org. We're a fair housing org in New Jersey. We've been around since the 70s, and the bulk of our work is making sure that every municipality in New Jersey plans for low-income communities in particular, especially Black communities, and builds affordable housing for us to get access to all the municipalities in New Jersey, not just the cities, but all of them. The suburbs, they're nice. Some people want to live there, so they ought to be able to, because we all know, it takes a lot of money to buy a big, nice house in the suburbs, and if your community wasn't set up to get a piece of the pie, get access to all the wealth in the country, the best way you're going to get access to all the great jobs, all the great networks in these suburban communities that built their little enclave to run away from some people. But the best way you're going to get access to those communities is through affordable housing. And with our organization, we make sure that all the municipalities in New Jersey, but particularly exclusionary municipalities, build their fair share of affordable housing. So that's the bulk of our work. That's the foundation of our work. And one stat we like to share is that in the next 5 years, there's going to be 50,000 new affordable housing opportunities in the state for low-income communities to get access to. And my job in particular is to just make sure that all our people have access to that information and to know exactly what they got to do to take advantage of those opportunities. So first things first, whenever something new comes available, we have a mandate in all the agreements we have with these municipalities for them to notify us, so that way we can share that information with our network. But all these municipalities are supposed to put it on the housing resource website. I can share that later on, and make sure that everybody who's looking for these opportunities can get access to it. But some of them do, some of them don't. It really depends on who if you want to get access to these opportunities. I've heard of situations where a development went up and a lot of people didn't get access to it. A lot of people didn't hear about it, and eventually you had like some city clerk or the mayor's cousin or somebody, moved into that opportunity. I recently heard about a situation in Beach Haven where they didn't want to market the property because they already told, I don't know who exactly told, but somebody who worked for the city already told that person, like, hey, once the developer is done building this property, we're not going to market it at all. We're going to hook you up and get you in there.
Mhm.
So, those issues are going on, and we're trying to put policies in place to resolve them. One of the great things we did recently was mandate that all affordable housing opportunities, when they're taking applications, they put it on the housing resource website that I'm going to share. But internally too, we're also trying to make sure that all folks in our network know about what's getting built, and also have like a trustworthy source where they say, okay, I know that in Teaneck Township in Bergen County, they're doing something, and I don't just want to go to the Housing Resource Center and see that, but I know that Fair Share sent me an email that said they were doing something in Teaneck, so I could tell 5 people I know that, hey, if you go to this website and you apply, there's a great chance you're going to get something. So that's one thing we're working on. In this month, we're gonna launch a newsletter to really share with our network every single opportunity in the state that's taking an application. So if there's somebody in the state you're taking applications for affordable housing, we're gonna have it on that newsletter. So that's something we're gonna launch this month. And just to wrap up, the other thing we started a couple months ago, I think sometime in February, was we started a podcast to not just get the information out there about affordable housing opportunities, but talk about like the structural issues that are preventing low-income communities from getting access to like good housing opportunities, also like stable housing, and not always have to be like looking for affordable housing or looking for just like opportunity to be stabilized. I could put it that way. Basically, we want everybody to be good. We don't want to be advocating for Black Lives Matter anymore. Let's fix all these problems so that all our people are good, and we don't got to be talking about this all the time. So that's basically what we did with the podcast, and we're campaigning out there. It's a great podcast, I think. I'll share some information about that towards the end. But yeah, we're trying to give people opportunity that's getting built, but also talk about the real issues and have Troy, being a state legislator, getting those legislations in place that are going to solve these structural issues. So that's what we're working on. It's not much, but we're trying. So yeah, that's
no, that is much. You know, as we all say, we need it. It's got to come from everybody. You know, to make sure you know, we have a seat here, because so much stuff is going on. Just like you just mentioned, a situation that happens that we just don't have access to. It's very difficult, very, very difficult, and we have to get the proper information, and we got to be advocates for people. So we definitely you know, appreciate all the work that Fair Share Housing does do. You know, can you share your contact information, websites, all that?
Yeah, I'll put my phone number in the chat and my email too for anyone who wants to reach out. I'm always working, so feel free to call me, email me anytime. And then I'll share the Housing Resource Center website. It's a great first start if you're looking for an opportunity or you want to connect somebody. And I'll share the link to our podcast too. And then, you know, if you come up with, if you run into any situation you feel like I can help out with, just like reach out, and I'll try to do my best to help out. A while ago, I heard from, I think her name is Leslie White.
Liesel.
Liesel. Very good. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there was a situation in I don't know what county, it might be Medford, but I don't remember exactly. There was a situation where there was a buy, she had a buyer ready to buy an affordable for sale home, and out of nowhere, the realtor said there was going to be the buyer had to have 10% down, or else they weren't going to sell the home to them. And they're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put any restrictions like that on a low-income buyer buying an affordable home, as long as they have a mortgage and they've been income qualified by the admin agent for the municipality. Then they're supposed to get a fair chance to buy the home. But one of the problems that we are seeing right now is for a long time, there's been no oversight agency in the state to make sure that everything's going okay. Like there are no problems, everybody's treated fairly and everything. And the people who are in charge of these positions are in charge of enforcing the laws in place that are supposed to protect everybody. Some of them don't know their jobs and some of them don't care. So right now it's really up to us. It's going to be community oversight. If you see a problem, we can solve it. We got enough people to show up and say, hey, this is a problem, you need to fix it. So I don't know if we're going to get to a point where there's going to be a huge state agency that's going to make sure everything goes right for our people. I've never seen that in the history of this country. So I don't know, but we got to figure it out. So if you see a situation out there, just let me know. And I'm still trying to figure out with Lisa how to get the town to make things right, but gonna keep trying.
Okay. Could you share, do you know whether that situation was resolved or whether it's still out there trying to get done, or did they totally pass over that person?
They totally passed over the person. I think when she told me about it, they rejected her buyer and sold the home to somebody else. And I've been trying to figure out since then, like what can happen next. Does the municipality have to give her buyer another chance to get the next home that becomes available, or like what can they do to remedy the situation? Because there's something wrong happening. They got to take steps to correct it.
Would that be a discriminatory case on the fair housing side within policy?
That's what I've been thinking about, because I don't know what agency in particular will take a case like that, like a state agency like the Division of Civil Rights or one of those agencies that does fair housing testing, because the home already sold. So how exactly do we solve a problem like this?
I mean, as a realtor, we're supposed to, we should, what do we call, document. Mm-hmm. So when you look at the trail of what Lisa would have, and with the correspondence between either I don't know if it's a sell by owner or it had an agent on it, and to see that and the wording, because I had 3 agents caught in a situation of familiar status, and they basically said your client, which was a female, and that had 4 children, has too many kids for a 2-bedroom property. And we had to, call that out. And all of a sudden we got leases after I called that out. I said, you really gonna write that down and send that to me today? Because and all of a sudden leases came over with 3 properties back to back. Mm-hmm. So that seems like, I don't know, but you never know these days. I have another question. Elorm, can you tell them when it comes to the policy, and we always go back to my Mount Laurel doctrine, how we can all advocate possibly in the townships that we have with the new, because we all know how inventory is horrible. So when it comes to the properties that are coming up, the allocations of those that are going or should be highlighting to the government officials that are within the townships, what they need to know to say that, do you have the allocated amount of low to moderate income housing that's coming up now?
Oh, that's a great question. Some I'm working on right now is putting all. So I sent a list a while back to Tammy. I think it was Burlington County, it was Gloucester County, and it was Camden County. And I'm trying to put a list together of every township and all the affordable housing they have, and making sure that everybody knows. So if you see a development over here, be like, okay, they have 15 affordable housing units. If somebody over there is telling you they only have 7, that's a problem. So what I'm trying to do is make sure we all have the information about what's available out there. And then once we know what's available out there, we can see that, okay, in my township, we only have 50, but we really need 70. So how could we all get together, show up to a city council meeting, and let the city officials know that, hey, I know we only have 50 and the law says you're supposed to have 50, but we actually need 70. So, you know, my cousins, they need housing. How can you make something happen? And I think that starts with us having the information. So right now, I'm just trying to make sure that for the entire state, we have the information to share with our community, and then we can all get together and see where we have shortfalls and all organize together to make sure that all these city officials are doing right by us. So great question. Reach out to me if you need something. I'll get you the information, and then we could just make something happen.
This is Wayne Brown. Do you also have the guidelines for an individual in order to qualify to even be part of the to get on the, I don't know if it's a list or whatever, so that we can even think about putting them on affordable housing?
Yeah. There are income limits in place all over the state. It's a simple PDF document. I can share it. I don't know if I can share it in the chat.
Yep, I can. If you can't share it in the chat, you can share it on the screen. Share it on the screen if you need to.
Have they come out with their 2021 guidelines, or is it still based off the 2020?
It's still based off the 2020. So long story, there was a state agency that did it, but COA, they shut down, and ever since then, there's one small nonprofit that puts together the income limits for the entire state based off HUD's income numbers, or I don't know exactly how they do it, but that's the organization. They're called the Affordable Housing Professionals of New Jersey. And I think around April every year they try to release the updated numbers, but I haven't seen the 2021 numbers yet. But most municipalities are still using the 2020 numbers, and then every year the court puts an order in place that says you have to update to the 2021 numbers. There's still some municipalities out there that are using 2014 numbers. I've heard of them, and that's a problem. So
That's a problem.
yeah.
What about this whole lottery thing? Can you tell us a little bit about this lottery system and where
Sure.
it came from?
So all right, so a lot of people, there's a huge demand for affordable housing, and the best system they could come up with to make sure everybody has fair access to it was once there's a new property that comes online, let's say it has 40 affordable housing homes, they take applications, let's say 2,000 people applied, and they're supposed to do a random lottery and categorize all the 2,000 people. You know, so you do a random lottery and just pick 1 to 2,000, and then the first 40 people get a chance to meet the qualifications to get access to those homes. If those 40 people meet the qualifications, they get to live in the home. When somebody leaves, they go to the next person on the waiting list. That's basically how the process works. That's pretty much it. It's just a randomized lottery, and they select the first people to get access to the opportunity. And if those people don't meet it, they just keep going down till they get to the bottom of the list.
Okay.
And is there a website where we can look for the updated income requirements that should be coming out soon? Or is it just a PDF that you have for now for 2020?
I believe the affordable housing professionals have the updated 2020 numbers. Well, usually the last 2 years they make that public to everybody. So I can share their website too. But feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I'll get you the PDF.
Thank you.
Elorm, the Mercer County, the PDF that we had, I don't know if people are going to be able to access the one you sent to me, because I had to, I think, figure out how to turn it into a PDF. So the links that you sent to me because I only have South Jersey, do you want me to put it in the chat of what you sent to me for South Jersey?
Yeah, it's a Google Doc,
Yeah.
and I made it public for everybody. So yeah.
It's on the website that you're putting in there though, right? It's going to be on the website.
The NJRC website that I just shared right now, that's just all the admin agents in the state of New Jersey. Whenever there's a new opportunity, they're required to put it on that website. This list I made a while back is just my work to really organize all the information we have about affordable housing opportunities in the state, and it's a public Google Doc. So whenever I notice anything new, I try to make edits, and eventually you want to get to a point where we have a core group of folks who we want to give edit access to this information. That way we can all research, figure out who's in charge of all these properties, and make sure that everybody's aware of what's going on in the state.
Okay.
So that list is also going to include all the counties, or like, because I'm in Monmouth and Ocean, would that be on there also?
Right now it's just Gloucester, Camden, and Burlington that I've completed for South Jersey. Eventually I'm going to get to a point where I have all 21 counties. So at some point, I don't know when, but at some point I'll get you the list for Monmouth.
What about
and
Mercer?
Mercer too.
Okay. I have another question. Ocean and Monmouth County, there's some things going on down there. How do we gain access to that? We were invited and went to several meetings, and we went through these meetings. We had opportunities to speak with some folks, and we were told, you know, that they could use our assistance. And when it came time to do whatever it was that they needed us to do, it was chaos, total chaos. And I'm not sure if it was a bar, barrier, blocking. I don't know what it is. I know that there was a team of people there when we got there, and, you know, but the invitation was there. So how do you combat that?
Yeah, I mean, some of these municipalities, they don't want us. So
But this wasn't a municipality.
No, it was not.
This was Michael McNeil.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, I know Mike.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right. So
we were called in to work with him. Unfortunately, COVID hit, and so we've had number of phone calls with him.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we've also been asked, hey, you guys were the ones chosen. How do we work with these people? And we're like, you know what? You got to give us more information on how to qualify these people. Who are these people? Because we don't have lists. We don't have details. They were supposed to give that to us.
Yeah, I know. I try to work with Mike to get him the information. I'm Mike's information guy. So
well, we're at the source now. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reality check here, huh?
Yeah, I got to do a meeting with Mike. We're supposed to do a Zoom real soon to talk about how to get all the information out. So that's it. It's just a list for Ocean and what's the other place? Mercer?
It was
Monmouth.
It was Monmouth, Ocean and Monmouth, and I know Mercer is last on the list. I was told Mercer was last on the list. So yes.
Ocean, Monmouth, and Mercer. So yeah.
I had people calling me. I was putting, they gave us the nice presentation of the properties, and I'm putting it out there, and I had people calling me from all over, and I was like, sorry.
Yeah, I did too. I had one of Mike's representatives saying, Wayne, how can we do this? And I'm like, I don't even know how to make sure the person's qualified because we weren't given the detail. We weren't even given the forms that they should fill out.
Yeah.
And again, the goal is to get people in there who all of these laws and bills was made for, right? People that really need this affordable housing. That's the goal. And I know a lot of people that look like me that can stand to be put in these houses. So, that block right there is sad. It's heartbreaking.
Hi everyone. This is Tokumbo. Before I go, because I have to go for another meeting, I pasted the link for Monmouth County Affordable Housing that I've worked successfully with them. It's called housingall.org. and I put their name and their address on the chat. Okay, so they're a very good neighbor works organization that have worked with very recently as March of this year. So they have some affordable housing units available if you know anybody in Monmouth County that needs a good house.
Thank you, Ms. Ford.
So let me run along, Aisha, and thanks for inviting me. I really had a good time.
Okay. Takumba, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
I can second that. Affordable Housing Alliance, they do great work in Monmouth County. They're one of the admin agencies for these municipalities. So their website, it was a great resource. And on my end, I'll try to organize all the information and get it to you guys. Also, all the income limits and all of that. Make sure we all understand the process about how to get folks to get access to these opportunities.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. You know, that good question and answer period there was good.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate all the information that you was able to share with us. You know, so anything else, guys? Okay.
Nope, that was great. Thank you.
Yeah, well, Elam, thanks. I mean, every time you come on, the same way with you know, Senator Troy. You guys always have some great information and good insight on what's going on, and you know, great conversation. So, you know, thanks for having the time to make a time for us. So I really appreciate it. But we're about ready to wrap up, so you're definitely welcome to hang around. But okay, as we finish up, thanks guys, and once again, you know, Shelley and other members of Central Jersey, I want to thank all of you guys for collaborating with us on Realtist Week, for you know, sharing, you know, what you have to offer and showing up for us. I really appreciate it. And you know, with that, want to talk about Thursday, which is the conversation on fair housing. That's going to be on Clubhouse. So hopefully, not a big plug here, but unfortunately, you know, Clubhouse only supports the Apple product. So, and I think it's just the iPhone and the iPad. So, you know, that is, you know, what the forum is going to be on Thursday. But should be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great conversation. You know, bring your ideas, your thoughts. You know, what has happened in the past and what do you think we need to do moving forward that will, you know, help through that. And if I'm correct, Tammy, is that the is that the love letter conversation or no?
Yes, that will be to write the love letter / video or not. Are we violating any fair housing policies when we do that? And for some of us, we know that just, I mean, the reality of it, it could hurt some of our clients. You never know. It shouldn't. But we know that could be it. So I hear counterparts that say, oh, they do it all the time and it's fine. But we know shoes on the other foot in many aspects. It's not always an equal kill for all of us. It's just a flat thing. And so if your circle of influence of clientele is not going to be affected by that, because we know that home ownership for the African-American community is at what, 46% maybe now? Is what we say, 46% or 40?
Yeah. I think it's still at around 44.
I think it's at 44.
And unless it's, excuse me?
But when you say 40 and you fix your lips for that, as my grandma say, you fixing your lips. And in our counterparts in the white communities, they're looking at what, 70%.
Yeah.
So that's a big
73%.
70. Thank you, Wayne. That's a big percentile jump. So we all know that it's not necessarily always in our favor, and that shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't have to have this conversation in 2021. But we know that, you know, that's where we are. So, we missed, Avery, we also want to promote, I'll try to put the link in the chat as well. Our Houston sister chapter is having a faith-based program called Crisis Proofing Your Church. crisis proofing your church. So I'm gonna try to put that link in the chat where you can go to Eventbrite and register there to attend that, crisis proofing your church.
And I think double check, guys. I think that's Central Time, isn't it?
No, our time is 10 to 11.
Okay. Is it just for the 1 hour or two?
It's 2 hours, but there's
Okay.
two different sessions. It's two different
Got you.
sessions.
Got you. For us, it's 10 to 11
Mhm.
Eastern Time.
Yes.
Okay. Just check it because I'll mess it up.
So Central Standard Time, right, Chels?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
I put the
Yeah,
link in the chat.
Yeah, I would definitely be on that. So that'll be that should be good. And you know, anything else you care to share real quick? You know, Shelly, Wayne,
The big day on
Ray G?
Friday, Shelly.
Oh yeah, Friday. Oh yeah, in honor of fair housing. I hope you all can join us. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's called The Banker. We're going to be viewing it Friday night from 7 to 9. We're going to be doing it on Zoom. And Tam, did you get a link out on that already?
Yep, I'm putting it in the chat.
Okay.
Putting it in the chat now.
Okay.
And I have seen it. I have seen it. It's good. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, this will be my 4th viewing. So
Wow. Wow.
I learn something new every time. Every time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it was good. I don't have anything else. I just once again I want to thank everybody and our big community
let
day.
everybody know about the big day on Saturday.
Big Saturday, yes, yeah. Before that, I was going to say big community day Saturday. That's from 9:30 to 2:30, and I'm just looking forward to it. And it's just a big slate of who's who and who should be there. If I'm correct, you know. But you know, the morning session, you know, it's going to be introduction from 9:30 to 10, and from 10 to 11, you know, from 10 to 11:45, we have the community session, which is the home buying portion of it, which is the ABCs of home buying, what to expect and prepare to buy a home in 2021. We have, you know, 12 to 1, that's designated for lunchtime. And that's when the sponsors and the partner spotlight is, you know, going to be put on sponsors so they can talk about their product. And then the afternoon session, which will be a focus on the you know, employment opportunities, wellness, as well as information for sellers. So it's a pretty full day, and I once again have to thank our Central Jersey chapter for, I mean, just filling things out and stepping up, and I mean, you guys have done a great job to get this all together. And it's going to be a full day, and I'm looking forward to it. So it's going to be tons and tons of information. Get it out on your social media, in your network. You know, just let everybody know where to go to register, and hopefully we'll have a nice turnout. So, you know, it should be an event, as they say. So
Yes, and please share.
I put the flyer, and all the links are in the chat. So our most recent flyer is in the chat, and all the links that we have are in the chat as well.
Okay, great job. All right, Tammy. Okay. Anything else for the good of the order, as they say? I just want to say thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate you. Setting some time aside for us, and I look forward to. I guess I can't say see you, but I look forward to hearing you guys Thursday evening on Clubhouse. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Elorm, thanks again. Wealth of information as usual, and a great source. So, I really, really appreciate you, being here for us. And, Elorm's a friend to the chapter, and he's always been there for us. So he's definitely a great resource. So, reach out, give them a call if you guys need anything. And I definitely look forward to seeing you again. Anything else, guys?
Thanks.
Elorm, you have,
Oh, no, just saying thank you.
okay.
Nice to be on.
Man, I blew it. Yeah, I'm at 8:04.
Oh, you
Sorry
did
about
good.
that. All right. Well, that accounts for people coming on about 5 minutes late. So we're still at an hour. Okay, guys, listen, thanks again. And I look forward to talking to you. I'm sure I'll talk to you probably later on, either tomorrow, Kelly. So, once again, thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good night, okay?
Good night.
Thank you.